We see them every day, bright, bold, and proudly promoting the brands behind them. But how do plain nylon turn into custom branded designs? Today, we take a quick look at how these everyday bags get their unique touch. The process usually starts with the client requests. The client makes his or her request stating the type of nylon he wants, color, size. Once those requests are got, his or her request is sent to the design room where the idea is carefully designed, after which a mock-up is being created to show the client to be sure that his request has been captured appropriately, and as well that gives him a chance to see if there is a mistake in the design. The mock-up shows you what the final version of your request would look like after it has been printed. Once we get the final nod from the client, we head to print out a dummy copy, and this dummy copy has to be printed all in black irrespective of the color chosen by the client. After this is done, we need to get our printing screen ready. To do so, we need the mesh screen, and there are different mesh screens for different purposes. The one used for cloth printing is not the one used in nylon printing. We as well need the emulsion, we need the photo developer, a flat surface to spread the mix, and the mixing container. The printer pours in a reasonable amount of the emulsion into the mixing container with a little quantity of the photo developer and mix it properly. Next, he floods the screen with the mix, then uniformly distribute it on the screen using this flat surface. Note, this has to be done in a very dark area, free from sunlight. I'm doing this in the presence of light just for the sake of this video. I'll quickly take this out of this place. The printer floods the inner surface and the outer surface of the screen. When satisfied, it's being taken to a dark spot, a dark place to dry. Okay, while the printer waits for the screen to dry, you can start trimming away the excesses on the non-useful parts of the dummy print. Note, this very dummy print is printed on a foil. It's a nylon kind of paper. It's water resistant. It just works best for us. Howbeit, you can still print on a normal paper. So the trimming is done. We can't really wait for the screen to dry. So we need to involve a hand dryer to force it to dry. Using the hand dryer, the printer carefully hits the screen front and back for it to dry. Now, with the screen dry, the printer needs to transfer the dummy print to the screen. To do so, he rubs oil carefully on the screen and even as well on the dummy. Then he mirrors the dummy, that is, he flips it over and places it on the screen. Note, this also needs to be done in a very dark place. Once that is ready, we need another crucial thing, the sun. This setup needs to be taken out to the sun for some while for the transfer to be successful. Duration as to how much it should stay on the sun is very crucial, and it can only come through experience because it's so much dependent on how much quantity of UV the sun is releasing per time, that is ultraviolet rays that the sun is releasing per time. So this thing can stay here. It ranges from about 20 seconds to about 30 minutes. It is the most crucial part of the process. If you miss it here, you're going to start afresh. If the screen should stay longer than it should, it is overexposed, you can wash it off again. And if it stays lesser than it should, it is underexposed, everything will wash away if you try washing it. So you must get it right here or you start again. Now, after the sun exposure, we are going to wash the screen with a water jet. If you notice what is happening here, as you wash it, the part that did not allow sunlight to pass through it is going to wash away, whereas the part that allowed sunlight to pass through it is going to harden and wouldn't wash away. That is, every black spot on the dummy print is going to wash away, while the transparent part is going to harden. After the washing, it's sent back to the dryer to dry the screen again. In this case, the printer has successfully transferred on 3 screens for the day's production. At this point, the printer carefully tapes the edges of the screen to avoid ink leak during printing. With this done, the screen is ready for printing. Okay, next thing is to sort the nylons to be printing upon. In this case, the nylons are still fresh and tied together. There are about 700 pieces of nylon on the production line today. Today we have the carpenter's bag, we have the 1620 boutique bag as well, and we have the 1215 restaurant singlets nylon bag here too. So the printer unties them and sorts them according to their sizes. Now with the nylon and the screen ready, the printer heads to the printing table. The screen is fitted to the setup. A flat glass is placed under for a smooth print. Then the registration marks are made. The essence of this registration mark is to guide the printer subsequently as the printing continues, to know where to place the nylon without having to adjust at every point in time. It takes a bit of while, but it's really worth it. With that ready, the printer finds or mixes the exact paint color as demanded by the client. In this case, what is needed is just white. There is no much mix needed, just to add a little thinner for good consistency. Now, to start the printing, the printer needs the squeegee, the thinner, the paint, the nylon all close by. Then he wipes the screen against any dirt. You don't want any dirt to be on the screen at this point. When ready, he adds paint on the screen, flood the screen uniformly with the paint. Mind you, he places a paper under the screen to avoid stains. He tests again with another paper. Once everything looks right, the actual printing can then begin. The printer loads the nylons under the printing head. Although usually most printers prefer printing one by one, that is, loading the nylons one at a time, print one and load again, print again and load again. But here with us, it makes it easier for us to load them at once. As much as can enter under the printing head, it makes the job smoother and faster. Then the striking begins. And as you can see, it's always beautiful to watch as it neatly transfers the print on the nylons. So one by one, the printer keeps striking on the nylons, going back and forth on the screen with the squeegee as the process just amazingly transfers whatsoever you have on the screen on those nylons. So one by one we keep going until the 700 pieces nylons which are on the production line are all printed upon. So with all printed, we now have this amazing look. Lastly, the printed nylons are packaged and set for delivery. And as clients use it, it promotes the client's brand and as well speak about the dexterity and craftsmanship of the customizers. And for you, I think it's good to know how it was made. We are Zifrika.